Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the official last episode of DRW Radio. I can't believe we're calling it, but the reason why we're retiring DRW Radio is pretty simple. Earlier this week on Friday, we lost a very beloved member of DRW. DMG, also known as Pam Taylor, was found dead in her bed, and now we gather before you because this is going to be our way of remembering her both in character as a wrestler and out of character as a person. And it might get a little emotional. This isn't exactly content you want to watch if you're already recuperating from someone's death, unfortunately. That's kind of not good. Well, anyway, but before we get started with that, of course, there was breaking news out of the DRW camp that we will replace DRW Radio with a new show, DRW Rewind, that airs every Saturday night for 30 minutes. This will allow me to continue hosting shows for you guys, and I think that it will be good for the future of DRW and the growth. We have Evolution on Wednesdays, Revolution on Fridays, but that's not why we're here today. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the four people we have with us right now. There will be people coming and going from this call. You'll be able to hear because there will be a little beep, or they'll randomly, rudely speak in the middle of someone else speaking, because that happens. That's a thing. But, of course, we have with us Reverend Hammer.
Good evening.
Dark Terror.
Hello.
Tyler H.
What's up?
Sorry, Tyler. I'm calling you Tyler H. I don't care. I can't do the Mount Stonewall thing. I can't.
That's fine.
And, of course, our Lord and Savior himself, RPM.
Good evening.
Wow. Little grim, are we? But, so, I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Anyone who wants to speak, feel free to speak. You can name memories, you can name anything as long as it relates to Pam. We do not speak about random stuff going on in the outside world, although there are some really bad things going on, like the Germany terrorist attack. May those people rest in peace. But I'm going to turn it over to you guys now, so take it from here.
I think I'll start off first. I mean, since I am the only person in here that's known Pam since 2011, I might as well start off first. Well, basically, we met in a WRP group that she owned called FNS, Friday Night SmackDown. She's a person that made me basically who I am today in the EFED WRP world. All our matches that we put on has always made me even better than before. Now, I've showed people one of my last things that she said, and she said that we were gonna have one last match, but now I can't have it. So, it kind of bums me a little bit, but, you have to understand that I don't know how to put it basically, but, just knowing that, someone that was close to you, like that was like your sister, that was kind of like, it was kind of basically always there for you when you needed advice, and she actually came to me for advice. So, it's just gonna feel weird, not talking to her, because I have called her before, and we used to talk for almost 2.5 hours at a time, especially the last 2 years. We talked for almost 2 hours every day, just see how everyone's doing, and, seeing what's going on with her. And I always looked on her son Andy just to make sure that he was doing everything right. So I'm probably still gonna try to attempt to do that. Be hard, but but Pam though, she made us, who we are. She made us basically, the fun-loving. She made everything fun for us. I mean, sometimes there was drama, and she didn't want a part of it, and that was understandable. But we just need to understand that she doesn't want us. She wants us to remember her for who she was, and that was the beer drinking, taco eating, badass, southern badass kicking Dark Maiden Guy Taylor, and I'm sure everyone here wants to speak, and I'm gonna shut up for now and
Wait,
let
God
someone else
himself
take
just said ass? Never thought I'd see that from Rob, but, and I broke character already. Well, anyway, let's welcome TJ Shadows to this memorial service.
Hello, TJ Shadows.
Hello.
I figure I've only broken character once, let's keep it that way. So whoever else wants to go next can. Basically what's going on, TJ, is that we are sharing some of our favorite memories and just talking about DMG in general.
Well, from what we talked about earlier, I'm really just here to keep the peace and soak it all in.
Oh yeah, that's totally understandable. Of course, you're more than welcome to speak if you feel like you can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've had a lot of memories, Mia.
I
Why don't you
do,
talk
I
about
do,
those
but I want to
memories?
make sure that everybody else gets theirs out first because I've got some things.
I have a lot more things to say. I just want to let everyone else speak too.
Well, let's see if the infamous...
I guess I'll go next.
Hit it then, Reverend Hammer.
My first memory of DMG was actually in WCW. That's where I met her. And I'll never forget my first interaction with her. She, even from the very start, before she even knew the type of person I was, she was very kind. She liked to basically make herself out to be this total badass bitch who, was just all tough and stuff. But the actual fact of the matter is...
Wait, huh? Wait, what was that?
She really was one of the kindest people I ever knew. And there were quite a few times where I leaned on her for advice, and if it wasn't for her, I probably would have done some really stupid things. And it's because of her that I was able to make some very big decisions. And even though Kate Mulvin and DMG were not blood sisters, they were soul sisters, which made DMG my sister-in-law. Kate Mulvin is upset tonight due to personal reasons.
By the way, let's just make this blatantly clear because apparently there's some people that still don't get it. Key Morbid and DMG were not the same person. I just want to make that clear. Also, while I have this opportunity, let's welcome Steve Starkiller Smith and A-Star in. Basically what we're doing is we're holding a memorial service for DMG. You're more than welcome to share any stories you have, but I'm going to turn it back over to Reverend Hammer.
So as I was saying, that made her my sister-in-law. And I held her in very high regard. No, the other morning when I learned that she had passed away, I was in complete and utter shock. Because Pam at DMG was one of those people that you just thought was invincible, that you didn't think that she would ever die. And yet here we are remembering her. And sorry, please, someone else take over.
Alright, I guess I'll continue on. Here's another story. I haven't never really told you this, but back in 2012, there was an account named Angel Taylor. Now, I had no idea that was DMG. And it was kind of funny because she always reminded me, "Oh, Robbie Bobby, you remember when you had that little crush on Angel Gat?" I was like, "Yeah, that was me." It's like, "Yeah, I know." So yeah, so back in 2012, I had a crush on Angel, which was really DMG, and ever since then we became relatively close. I mean, our matches that we did, it was well, me and her have competed in the most DMG Dungeon and Doom matches in her entire career. I mean, I could be wrong, but me and DMG has done at least 4 DMG Dungeon Doom matches against each other, and every single time that we had our match, we either made each other tap or we broke the ring. We literally broke the steel cage. Me and her literally ran each other into the steel cage, breaking it, and we just started laughing afterwards. And I'm like, did we just break the cage? It's like, yep, only we can do that. And that's another good thing about her. I mean, she was also my trainer. I mean, so just I always went to her for advice. I mean, when I did something stupid in any company I was in, and I know I did something dumb, I knew I would have DMG coming at me, telling me, "Hey, Rob, yeah, you did this wrong. You kind of need to calm down a little bit and focus on yourself," because not many people knew that this though. Her brother has just about the same disabilities that I have, so she knew how to take care of me. And me and her actually formed a stable called EDP. Now, EDP was called Eternally Damned People. It was a stable in my ECW group, which was created in 2012, and it's still up right now. If you guys ever want to go there, but I'm not going to go out of subject. If anyone else wants to go, so I don't keep talking away.
Yeah, Dark Terror has to leave in like 8 minutes, so we want to go ahead and get to Dark Terror. Make sure you get close to that mic.
Dark Terror, talk, please.
If you feel moved to, we're not going to make you.
Yeah, we're not going to make you talk. If you can't talk, don't worry about it.
I have met DMC.
You're going to need to get closer than that.
I have met her through a WRP group when I first started about 3 years ago. And then before I started, I had to just leave. And then when I came back a year later, I have seen DMG matches in WRP. And as my career went on in the WRP way, the Queen of Chaos, Immortal, a twisted sister of the Dark Maiden, she has brought me into events, into WCW, where I have met him, event, or Pam Taylor is not a friend. She will be remembered as a great sister. Because throughout this whole entire day, she has been there for me. She has been there for my brother. She has been there for every single person that is in this radio here tonight. When I have woken up and I had seen that text message about Pamela Taylor's passing, I was legit at a loss of words. I could not even believe that she was gone. I will always, forever, remember and cherish every single moment her and I have made. Me and her have competed in events. I have always wanted to have a match in WRP, but now it's never gonna happen. There's no turning back from this. I wish there was a reset button so that way this will not ever happen. This woman will always be remembered for her greatest life story. To her family, to her friends. My name is Starkiller. That is all I gotta say.
And that was a vibration from a cell phone. Trying to sneak in a couple of cheap jokes here.
Yes, I know.
That was very moving.
It was very moving. Anybody else? Can I continue?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's just kind of like how everybody else has met Pam through the circuit. You know, I kind of met her a little bit off to the side. She actually knows the person behind Steve Smith and some of my family members and stuff like that. She was a cool chick. And to tell you the truth, I kind of, when everything went down and we started finding out information and everything, everybody kind of realized what was going on. You know, one thing that I kind of looked at was she was a lot more mature than some of the people we got inside of here. And instead of just, you know, coming down on them for this, that, or the other, it kind of made me realize, you know, people deal with things their own kind of way. People go through the morning at different times. And I think Pam was one of those people who had the patience to kind of understand people are individuals. They go through different things. And she was comforting. She was good at that. You know, as a badass chick as she was very much a mother hen. She liked that. She was good at that. And I think a lot of us are going to miss that. You know, I think one thing we got to take from her is let's not mourn about it too much. Let's not act like the end of the world's going because her life is over, but she doesn't want us to stop. You know, I'm pretty sure everybody can look through conversations they've had with her, and it was always about moving forward, progressing, growing, and that's what we need to do. So a lot of those times, now that we got somebody missing from the community, and there's a hole missing there, some of those times when we come across somebody else or even ourselves, we need to take that responsibility to do the things that she did for us, kind of pass that along. One of the things is when someone like her leaves and leaves a gap inside of the community, we need to gather that up. People need to pick themselves up by the bootstraps, man up, and try to fill in that hole with some of the things that she showed us and shared with us the time that she had here. So, that's what I have to say.
Man, y'all are really, really shit. All right,
Well,
Tyler, you're Rob. Tyler wanted to.
Tyler? Okay, go ahead, Tyler.
Well, the first time that Pam was when everything started in CRW, when she asked me to come over to join CRW to be the COO of the company, to be to really be Tyler H over there. She was basically my mentor this whole time. She basically gave me the advice how to beat my character, not really be, really. Well, she really told me not to be like really stupid and go out to be like Triple H. She wanted me to be different. She wanted me to, be the king of chaos. She gave me all the all the advice, and and when I had matches against her, you know, it basically started in DRW when DRW first started, 3 years ago, and me and her had a lot of matches. The first time I faced her, I beat her for the DRW title, and then we had a long feud going on. And I think the favorite match I had against her was inside the Dungeon of Doom match. The, she gave me so much advice that if it wasn't really for her, I wouldn't be you. I I wouldn't know what to do. I would have conversations on the phone with her and Phil. A lot of nights. When we had nobody to talk to, so I just talk to them for a few hours. About anything, and she was the toughest son of a bitch that any EFED has ever seen, and now with her gone, it's like you know it's like, where do we go from here? The show must go on, and that's what she would want us to do. But no matter what, she right up above us right now, she's still the toughest son of a bitch ever, and I'm ready to miss her very much. And I know Phil is going through so much right now, and I want to be there for him. I know all of us want to, and so my thoughts and prayers go out to her family, and I know this is going to be a big loss, for us in the Fed world, and I'm just glad I was able to have a lot of great matches against her.
Thank you, Tyler.
Alright, who's next? Mia, I think you should speak for a little bit.
Well, when I speak, it's going to be to end everything.
Oh, okay. Alright, so then I guess I'll go again. Since no one else wants to speak, unless someone else wants to speak.
Amari might want to speak.
Because I've...
Hold on. Amari wants to speak. Let's...
Go ahead.
When I first met Pam, it was on Skype, because that was in the end of the whole all Skype click thing, and we added Key, and Key added Pam, and at first, I didn't even think, just like with everyone else, I didn't think I could be friends with Pam. I was really wrong about that one. As days grew by, she began to be part of our family, and it was very fun, because like most of the people in EFA nowadays, she's that one-of-a-kind person that's just special. You never heard any drama revolving around her unless somebody messed with her, provoked her. And the only thing she wanted to do was have fun with e-fetting. And through e-fetting, she met a lot of amazing people. Left various marks on us that will allow us to remember her throughout the years and days. And I know right now in heaven, Pam is smiling, happy that we're deciding to move on, that we're deciding to do this, try to go on to better things. Because right now we're all deciding to get this out of the way, because there's going to be a day we need to move on from this. Listening to everyone's stories about Pam, it gives me more of an idea of just how she was so valuable to all of you. Just like she was valuable to me. And I thank you all for that. I really do. But may Pam rest in power. Thank you.
That was touching.
Amari, have you ever considered going to preacher school?
No.
That's not a racist joke, I swear.
Well, he's not the only person that's been asked to become a priest, so I've actually been asked numerous times to become a priest.
Alright, let me ask this. Taka, would you like to speak? I'm gonna go with no. Rob, do you have some more things to say?
Yeah, I have a lot more to say. a couple more stories to say. The things that you guys probably don't know of, but me and Pam were the GMs for Wednesday Night Massacre in DRW. And and I always came to her for ideas. Actually, in case you guys didn't know this, DMG made the cards. She just guided me into preparing them the way that they were posted. I did most of the writing, but me and her came up with some of the segments and everything that you guys seen that made Massacre as successful as it was for the 2 years I was running Massacre. And I just need to realize that everything that she taught me, I now have to use this and go teach the new generation, because that's exactly what she would do. So that's one thing that you guys probably didn't know. Another thing was that going back to the EDP thing, when I didn't have a theme originally for EDP, but Pam, she had such a good taste in music. She came up with the theme song for EDP, which is like a cover version. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's done by Dimar Voyager. I don't know if I probably botched that badly, but it's a cover song. Burn in Hell, I think it's called. I don't know if that's right, but I think it was called Burn in Hell. But me and her, we always kicked everyone's behinds. There was actually one thing where someone, there's this guy named J.M. Punk, Michelle McKenna, and he was dating this girl, and we found out that this girl was basically cheated on him. And me and her, we were the first two to always be there for whenever someone got hurt. So we were kind of like the bash brother sister, I guess you would say, because she would she would tell me this all the time. You get to hang them on the cross, but afterwards, I get to feast on their organs. And I said, don't worry, I'll make sure yours is very well done. So when I give it to you, that you don't choke or anything. And, she just laughed. And our latest jokes towards the end were the infamous 69, 34 and a half, and 17 and 25, or 17 and a quarter. And we always made her laugh. I mean, I remember one time I made her laugh so hard that she actually pissed her pants. Bless you. Don't take offense to that if you're not Catholic. So, I mean, and me and Pam, we always talked about, how she was Wiccan, but I'm Catholic. But I was one of the only Catholics that actually accepted her for what she was, because she told me a story, and I'm going to share it with you right now. She was wearing all black to a church in her state of where she lived, and I think where she lived, and she went over to the Catholic Church with her friend, and they pretty much banished her because of the way she looked and dressed and everything. And I told her, in here, where I am, we don't discriminate based on what you wear and how you look. As long as you come, we accept you in loving arms. I mean, that's what my church does. That's what being a Catholic is actually supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be about passing judgment on everybody because you don't like what they look like. Now, and that's funny because that's what Pam did. She taught us all everything. She made us who we are today by giving us the same advice, and she accepted us for who we were. She didn't care if you were fat, if you were transgender, gay, bi. I guess you guys get the picture, but she didn't care. She was there for you And the funny thing is that she usually came to me first for advice, because she was the only person that she was able to talk to back then that would, I guess, that would understand her, but I didn't understand how I'm always the first person she talks to, but, I was getting ready to help her with getting this court case set up for her because of the course not allowing her to keep her grandson. So I was helping her get all the documents together, and I was getting ready to call her that Friday when I found the news. Now, I haven't cried in 11 years since my mother died, and I cried. It wasn't for a long time, but I cried for about 30 seconds on Friday. Now, I'm usually an emotional guy because I always complain about everything. But the way I look at it is, if I don't complain about something and it makes sense, then, because Pam would always clear everything up from what I said and correct myself. So, I don't want to keep talking on and on. I want to see if anyone else wants to talk. Anyone else is on this call, if you want to talk, feel free to talk.
Seriously, Talk, are you alive over there?
Yeah.
Would you like to speak?
No.
Okay.
Did you bring some more of those chocolate bars?
These are my chocolate bars, Steve. Remember what happened in Japan?
I love you guys.
I had to get you a whole new passport after that incident.
We love you too. Anyone else have any stories they want to share? Because, I can keep going on and on and on.
Rob, you could keep going on and on and on, but we are approaching about, I want to say 32 minutes. I don't want to kill the YouTube world.
I might say something, I guess.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Let's see. I imagine YouTube is saying thank you as well. Okay, in all seriousness,
There will never be a better side headlock.
God damn it. Okay, in all seriousness, I'll be front. I can't say I had the same relationship as, like, say, Mia and Messiah and Darter and Key with Pam, but me and her, we clicked on a lot of things. There were often times where we would joke, just talk about different things in the world. And one thing she often brought up was, as most of us know, her whole thing about being an alien because she's so different from the world. I carry that same philosophy, but I don't consider myself like an alien per se. I just use the term imperfection because I'm a person that accepts every flaw that I have, and it shows that I can evolve. I don't try and strive for perfection. And Pam was probably one of the first people when I got back into this to truly understand what I meant and respect it. There was one. Now I'm starting to be like Messiah because of all these stories. One story in particular was when I first got to WCW, because I did it as a favor to Key. She came to me first and said, "We need you to work this match." And I, at the time, I hadn't spoken to Pam in some time, so I was just like, okay, this must be really important. Turns out it wasn't so much a match. She just wanted me to write something because she herself said, and I quote, "I'm too lazy to get up off my ass and walk to my laptop to type it." So I don't know about you people, but that was probably the only time I ever laughed at something Pam said, wholeheartedly, and not worried that if I laugh at the wrong thing, I might die.
Yeah.
But I was one of those people that I think I'm one of the few people who could say I could get away with laughing at something and not having to truly fear the aftermath because we were just alike in so many ways. And like I said, I don't have the same relationship as her and everyone else here, but I know for a fact I'm going to miss her because at times where I felt this was more of a job rather than something fun, she reminded me what made it so much fun. Anytime I had a smile off my face, it was like this when I talked to her and it was back on. And it takes a lot for me to stop smiling. Anyone can say that. But Pam was one of those people that could just instantly snap it back on my face just at the drop of a dime. It could be the littlest thing from random taco reference, messing with my hunger, to belittling Josh Collins when it was cool. It was just something done to keep my sanity. And I really, really am going to miss that.
I love tacos. Alright, that was random.
That's my job. That's me and Steve's department to be random. Don't take our thunder.
Well,
but before Mia finishes this, I guess I just have one thing to say, and this doesn't sound preacherous, but I want you all to remember one good memory of Pam. Keep it inside your brain. Keep it inside your mind. Because whenever something's going wrong with you, just remember that one thing you have it, Pam, and you'll feel a whole lot better, and you won't have to worry about anything else. If you need any advice, just remember what Pam said, because that's exactly what the answers would be. So, for example, with you, Taco, when what you just said before about it feeling like a job. Every time you feel like this is the job, just remember what Pam said. I can say it for everyone else, but pretty much, Tyler, same thing with you. Whenever someone tells you stop being like Triple H and be more like yourself, just remember what Pam told you. I mean, I can keep going on and on, but I'm going to let Mia take this because I'm pretty sure everyone else has nothing left to say. And I said what I had to say before, so I think it's time for Mia to take the call because she has something very nice and dear to say. And I feel that if it wasn't for Pam, Mia might not be here today. Go ahead, Mia, take it away.
Well, before I take it away on my own stories, Josh Collins wasn't able to make it tonight, but he sent me something he would like said. So it starts out with the title, My Words for My Fallen Sister. And remember, this is from Josh. He said, I met Pamela back when I first started eFeds a few years ago, and she immediately added me and messaged me after I posted my first promo, and we hit it off. We talked about wrestling, about music, about my straight edge lifestyle. And the minute I told her I was straight edge, she showed a respect for me that no one else ever showed. Pam introduced me to Heather and a lot of the other fetters around at the time. She was there for me from day one and loved me like I was one of her own. She always said that I was going to be special and got pissed when I walked away from Feds because she saw something in me that I don't see and not many other people do. I don't know what she saw, but she believed in me when no one else did. There weren't many people like Pamela. She fought for me, she defended me, and when my little sister attempted to kill herself. There's not much I could say to heal these wounds in my heart, and the ache of missing her, like I know we all do. But there's one thing that brings me comfort. She's flying high with Lemmy, Ronnie, and Cliff. She's a metal goddess, and I'm sure Lemmy is taking care of her wherever she is. She will always be an alien, and one day I will see her in a place beyond the stars. I love you, Pammy. Thank you for your love, your humbleness, and your never say die attitude. You'll surely be missed. Rest in peace, goddess.
That's touching.
Yeah, Josh is a pretty touching person. Definitely.
He still is a touching person once you get to know him.
He is. And that leads me to this. Because Pam and I were never destined to be friends. Not from the start. Because our first encounter happened when we were placed in a match against each other. And I called her out for not promoing against me. I called her out for not trying. And she told me that she had a really personal situation going on. And I won't reveal the personal situation because it's not something that I feel I can say. But it is something that really really messed me up for a while. I eventually apologized, and from there we became really good friends. It's funny because I'm not really sure how it all happened, but it's funny because beyond that, she and I just bonded really, really deeply. From talking about Connor's girlfriend at the time, Chris Zero, who's not here right now. He sends his condolences as well. From that to a lot of, there were just a lot of things that we talked about. We complained about the government, we complained about the country, we complained about the authority, we complained about Phil, we complained about Pam's various boyfriends. We complained about a lot of things. And then I came out as transgender. And she was the first person who I felt wholeheartedly accepted me. Yes, Connor was the first person I ever told. But with Connor, there was always the question of, oh, will he turn on me? Will he turn back? Will he run from me? Will he see me as something strange? I never saw that from Pam. Pam talked to me, and Pam told me she loved me and accepted me for who I was. And that's something that was really rare for me, because growing up, I didn't have a whole lot of people that accepted me. Growing up, I didn't have a whole lot of friends, and I sure as hell didn't have a whole lot of family that was accepting. Hell, even now, my family, my mom accepts me. My grandparents on my mom's side accept me. Some of my dad's family accepts me, and that's about it. And it's sad to me. Because when we lost Pam, to me, I lost someone a lot more than just a friend. Because Pam wasn't a friend. Pam used to tell me that you don't have friends, you have family. And Pam was like a sister to me. No, we didn't always get along the best. Sometimes, like at first, I was scared shitless of her, I won't even lie.
I remember that.
I was scared shitless of her, but the thing was that beyond the hard external core, Pam was a genuinely kind and good-hearted person. And I think that that's something that is really hard to find nowadays. It's funny because we're gathered here. The ones of us on this call, for the most part, we're a bunch of misfits. We have several people who maybe aren't the most accepted by people because they have a disability or they're not necessarily the best around social situations. Or maybe they're just not good at making friends. We have a lot of people here that aren't necessarily the most socially accepted, but Pam accepted every one of us. Pam would drop anything to help any one of us. And to me, that's incredible. That's something that I want to take from here, and I want to employ it in my own life. And when I told Pam I wanted to become a college professor, she was one of the first people I told. And Pam told me to go get it. Pam told me if I wanted it to do it. And to me, that was incredible. In the closing days of Pam's life, she was battling a lot of demons. She was battling lots of pain. She was battling lots of personal issues. She was battling issues with her boyfriend. But Pam never stopped fighting. One day, about 5 or 6 days ago, Pam threatened to take a bunch of pills. And I shook it off like it was nothing. I shook it off. And I told her, no, you can't do that. Why would you do that? You're much better than that. You have a family. You have a family that cares about you. You have friends that love you. Pam tried to deny it. But by the end of the day, it took 3 of us. It took 3 of us to get Pam settled down, and it's really unfortunate that just 3 days later it wasn't enough. Because I know what they say. I know what they say. But I don't believe them. You can interpret that any way you want. But the fact is that Pam's demons eventually consumed her. And it's just like was said earlier. We all thought Pam was invincible. We all thought nothing could destroy Pam. And to wake up Friday morning to that Skype call from Nate was like feeling an arrow pierce me. Was like feeling a knife stab me. Was like wondering, how could this happen? This can't be real, can it? I was at a loss for words, and it was really hard to believe. But I did what Pam would do if it were the other way around. I did my best to hold Nate together. I did my best to hold Phil together. I did my best to hold anyone together who needed me. And I will continue to do that. Anytime anyone needs me, anyone listening, anyone on here right now, I'll be right there. All you have to do is let me know. And no, maybe I won't be there 24/7. But I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can, because at the end of the day, the EFED world is built full of outcasts, full of people who aren't the most accepted by everyone else. But we're a family, and family takes care of family. No matter how much we fight, no matter how much we argue, no matter how much we want to throttle each other. At the end of the day, family takes care of family. It's funny, because Pam and I were never supposed to be friends. But at the end of the day, I sit here, and I can honestly say that I'm taking Pam's last name as my middle name in order to remember her. I'm naming my custom TEW universe I'm creating after her. We're retiring DRW Radio in remembrance of her. There's also going to be a couple of events that happen at the 3-year anniversary show in memory of her. A lot of people are just going to think it's a way to get cheap pops, but to me it's remembering my sister. To me it's doing something for my sister that maybe she wouldn't want all this. But I want to honor her, and I want to do my best to make sure that I make her proud in this life, and hope she's watching from the next, whatever that may be. Pam and I were never supposed to be friends. But when her family members are coming up to me and saying thank you for being such a good friend, when one of them saying that you can take Pam's last name as your middle name, and I'm okay with it. And when you have all these memories, all these good memories of a person, that's what I'm always going to treasure. And the reason I wanted to have this memorial, which didn't go over so well the first time, but it's okay, it happens. The reason I wanted to have this memorial was because all of us in attendance right now, we can't go to Pam's funeral. We don't have the money, or we don't have the transportation, or we don't have the ability. But this is something small we can do for ourselves, for the community, for anyone who needs us. It's my hope that Pam's watching us from somewhere, and there's a tear in her eye while she's sitting there drinking a beer and being the toughest son of a bitch in heaven. I said it many times. If I was going to have a bar fight, Pam was going to be the first person I grabbed. Because Pam would always have my back. Pam and I made a pact about a week before her death, that if we ever felt close to the edge, that if we ever felt like we couldn't take it anymore, that we would let each other know. That we would take care of each other. The pact lasted a week. It lasted a week. And now she's gone. There's no way I can get her back. There's no way any of us can get her back unless we somehow make time travel and clone something. There's nothing we can do. And it sucks because the world is not only losing a great person, no matter alien or not, the planet's losing a great life form. The planet's losing a great role model. And yeah, it's like has been said, we all have to step up a little bit now. We all have to step up and fill that gap that's left. And the only way we can do that is by bonding together closer as family. Tyler, you had one last story, so go ahead, and then I will close.
I have one more thing to say too. So
Okay, Rob. Tyler first, though.
it's fine.
Yeah, brother, you were right about, about how I wasn't, supposed to be like, Triple H all the time when I was on the, radio shows, and, Pam would tell me, like, you jackass, just, don't talk like Triple H all the time, just be yourself. And I was like, alright, that's really how I got the Tyler H character in, and she really, if it wasn't for her, my written promos would, wouldn't be so long as they are anymore. She really taught me how to, really, just be yourself. Don't write promos like, like how Triple H does. Don't say the things that he does. Be yourself. Just go all out. It don't matter what you say. It doesn't matter if you say cuss words. You can say anything you want. And and that's what I did. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be multiple time world champion. I will always go for advice every single day. If I had a match against Phil, or if I had a match against Chris or anybody else, I will always go for her for advice, and she will always train me to do more long written promos. She will always, help me out with words, and that's what I have to thank her. And and with her, she's in a better place now. But I know, her memories will live on in DRW forever. And I know everybody here, on this call, we are gonna form as a family forever, and however night I'll drink a beer for her every single night. Even though I don't drink as much, I'll drink a beer for her every single night. So, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be Tyler H right now.
Rob?
Alright, so this is the last story that I have to say. It's not really a story, it's basically like more advice. Now, this is to anyone that's watching this, in any company that's going to be watching this. I'm going to do exactly what I did for when Pam came to me for advice. I would give her advice. And had I known that she was fighting these demons, I would have been there for her soon. I would have called her and talked her out of this, but I didn't know. I wish I did know. And I always feel like there was like this one more thing I could have done, and I could have stopped this from happening, but I didn't know. But as there's a saying in life, everything happens for a reason. We just don't know what that reason is until we are taken next. Now, the thing is, Pam had a good and nice, prosperous life. Me and DMG did win a tag team championship together in the WRP group. Me and DMG has won did win a tag title together in an E-Fed. It wasn't any of these E-Feds. It was part of like I don't know. I don't remember the group, but we did win a tag title on both things. But the thing is, Pam was always there for me. Pam was always there for everyone else. Now, there's one thing that she would want us to do, and that is support each other. It doesn't mean, ridicule someone's promo because you feel that it sucks. You just tell them what they should do to make it better. You don't bully people, to stop doing something that they love to do, because everyone here loved Pam. And Pam loved us back too. She basically made us who we were on Facebook. Now people say that, oh, it's just E-Fed. No. When you get to know somebody, like we did with Pam, it's not just someone on the internet. Because once you hear their voice, you identify them as a being. Now, Pam was our alien being, but through all our conversations that we've had with her, we all know that she is looking down from us, and she wants us to support everybody. This pretty much means, basically, don't ridicule somebody. Don't make somebody feel even worse than what they do. Help everybody that needs help. And I'm telling you right now, my inbox is open. I might not give the best advice, but I will give you the advice that I feel is the right advice to give you. Now, like Mia said, I'm not going to be there for you guys 24/7, but I will be there for you guys. I do read my inboxes. I check my inboxes almost every 5-10 minutes. So that tells you that I do care about what people ask me. Now, I'm going to dedicate the rest of my career to DMG because I told her something would ever happen to you, that I would dedicate some of my work to her. And the rest of this year is going to be dedicated to her. So if Mia wants to continue this before I end up breaking down and crying, go ahead and take it.
Miguel's got one thing to say really quickly, and then I'm going to close us.
Okay, Miguel.
Pam and I only had one altercation before, and it was kind of bad that I don't want to bring up, and Mia doesn't want me to bring it up, so I'm not.
You're welcome.
Although I'm going to say, I have one thing to say, and that's thank you.
Well, in closing, I'm taking something from my old church camp. Yes, you heard it here first. I'm still sort of religious. Get over it. What I'm gonna do...
You religious? Kidding.
Yeah, it actually happens. Essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you guys to bow your heads. I'm not going to make you, obviously, because I don't know if all of you are religious, and I don't want to put that pressure on you. But we're going to sit silently, and we're going to take some time, reflect. If you guys want to say anything, you're more than welcome to. It is an open prayer session, and I will close this after a minute and no talking. So, let's go. Father God, I thank you for the opportunity you gave us to know Pam. I thank you for the wonderful, accepting, kind, caring woman you sent on this earth. No, Father, she didn't necessarily have the religion you would have her have, and that's okay. I just pray that you would watch over her wherever she is. God, I pray that you help us all get through this, because it's going to be really hard for all of us. And I think you already know that, but it's going to be really hard for all of us to get through this, because Pam to us wasn't just a person. She was a role model. She was family. For some of us, she was like a sister to us. For others of us, she was someone we could go to for advice. But those of us who are still here, those of us who aren't here, who had to leave early, and those of us in the EFED community, and even in Pam's family, we all knew Pam as someone special. Someone who could bring light to a room, God. And I just thank you for the opportunity you gave us to know her.
If you don't mind, you want me to end this with a song or no?
You're more than welcome to.
Alright, well, this is a song that is basically sung at a funeral. I'm only going to sing the verse of it so we can end this. Like Mia said, I'd like to thank you all for coming. I'm very religious, so you see that in my promos. And Pam always loved my promos. Actually, her favorite promo of mine was my 7 Deadly Sins promo. Now, I'm pretty sure Mia remembers my 7 Deadly Sins promo. So, the song is called Shelter Me, O God. And it makes sense. Shelter me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears, from death into life.
Father, it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
That's all we've got for you. Next time we'll be live will be this coming Saturday night. I don't know what we're doing for it yet, but it might be a breakdown of what happened with the 3-year anniversary show. We'll see what happens. But for the guys that are here, for the guys that have been here, for all of you watching around the world, I just thank you for attending. And God bless you all.
And have a nice day.
And have a nice day.